Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to another video, y'all. I'm on my way back home from the post office. These nights are so lovely. This is gonna be another video for the marriage series, the unofficially marked marriage series. So this is a topic I would have never in my life have thought I would even talk about. And you would never guess what it is. Especially after all my rants and antics about, you know, not feeling love and stuff like that, right? So the topic, basically, I have someone, a sister that I know, she contacted me. It's actually been a couple of things, a couple of people and their situations that, inspired me to make this video. It's going to be a two-part, by the way, so this is part one, because it's a lot to cover. But it's basically about falling in love. Is that a cat? Oh, okay, no, it's not a cat. Falling in love. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that? Falling in love, yeah. So that's what this is going to be about. Part one and part two. So a sister contacted me and I'm not going to go into too much detail. I was going to make this a story time, but I don't want to tell people's business in detail, just in case someone's watching and they might know that person. So she contacted me, and she invited me to her wedding. She told me she had already gotten married, but she was going to officially have a celebration of marriage or whatever. So she was telling me what happened to her. Her and I actually got divorced behind each other. I was telling her about my situation, and I guess she realized her situation was crazy, so she got divorced some time after that. And now, mashallah, she's gotten remarried. But she had to call me and tell me the story. And she's the type, I think she wasn't really feeling her husband like that either. And she's Western, but not American. She's from another Western country. So she was telling me, how she bumped into him. It was through, child activities, basically. And this person was involved in their child's activities. And she basically they fell for each other. They say, love at first sight, which is weird. You feel like a magnetic thing. And she was like, what? No, how's this possible? And fighting it. And then she made umrah and stuff. And she was making dua and asking Allah to show her. And mashallah, signs kept coming to her, and it was meant to be. So she was just telling me her story from A to Z, and I was just like, wow, that's interesting. And then I know another situation, Allah musta'an, where someone found an individual unexpectedly, came to their workplace, and that person was everything. It was a woman. It was a person that everything that person wanted. And they were kind of taken aback. It was instant connection and things like that. And what I learned is that you don't have any control over your heart. You have zero control over your heart. Zero. And even if you lower your gaze, people have energy. You understand? They have energy. Because she didn't say she was staring the sister didn't say she was staring in her brother's face. And the other person didn't say he was staring in a woman's face. It was just, you have to interact with this individual. They come in your place of business, and it's undeniable. It's something that you can't even shake. And I'm sure some people can relate to that. Not everyone has gone through like the masjid or family members to find a spouse. Sometimes you bump into them. And to be honest, I've never actually looked for a husband. They always kind of like fell in my lap, bumped into them, mutual person that we know, a sister or something like that. So, but I mean, of course, it was no, you already know, it was religion involved with me. Goals, that was the mutual connection. Oh, okay, you trying to go overseas? I'm trying to go overseas. Great. So, yeah, back in Philly, we used to say, me and his sister we were talking about love, right? And I was like, listen, I think that all those love songs that people talk about is not even true. I think it's fake. I think the songs we used to listen to prior to Islam, I think it's fake. Like the feeling, like what they talking about, I don't think that's real. And she was like, it's not. And she's been married. That sister was married several times. She was like, it's not real. I was like, oh, that's what I thought. Because I'm like, where is it? Where is it? Where is this feel? What is this stuff that they were singing about? And we were singing our hearts out. And it felt so good singing it in the song. But I don't see it. Like, I don't see it. I don't see it. So she just solidified and reinforced my thoughts because, you know, in Philly, you see people talking about they in love, and even before Islam, you see your family members married, and they definitely like love each other, but it's not connected to like what I was trying to establish, religion and loving someone for Allah and having that genuine closeness to them and loving them for their characteristics and their manners and, you know, and their deen. It just didn't come about because a lot of the times the people had characteristics contrary to what they were claiming that they were practicing. So can't really feel love for an individual like that. Not good. They don't have good manners. They're not kind. They're not generous. They're not, you know, they're a lot of things. They're not a lot of things. So, but now that I'm here and I'm seeing people talk about marriage and how they met, and I also used to say, how do you fall for somebody except that you're doing something wrong? Right? That's also not true. It's not true. Because like I said, you don't have any control over your heart. It's not always true. I'm sorry. It's definitely true. But it's not always the case where you feel something for someone and it's because you were fostering like a prohibited relationship and then you fell for them. It's not always the case. So yeah, I changed my opinion about that. And you know, those who don't know love, apparently, they can't fathom it, like myself. You make judgments and you dismiss, and you may even be cold towards someone talking about it. Like, what are you talking about? Oh, okay, well, I can't relate to any of that. But that's nice. Sounds good. Sounds nice for you. You know, and a lot of people are like that. But like I said, these individuals who are kind of close to me and also didn't think it could happen to them, it happened to them. Changed my mind. It made me start to think differently. And I thought about the statement of Ibn Qayyim, rahimahullah, when he said, the only one that feels for the lovers is the one who has known love. And that's the truth. That's the truth. No one's going to be sympathetic towards you. No one's going to understand you. You can't even talk to people that's never happened to them before. They're going to give you some advice that probably annoys you or invalidates you or make you feel like you're doing something wrong. You know, like they say, "Ma fi hub qabla zawaj." Yeah, you're not supposed to foster love relationships before marriage. That's the truth. But if someone falls they start to love someone, then they have no control over it, especially if they didn't try. It wasn't purposeful. So, of course, first and foremost, the most authentic love and the most correct love is love for Allah first and foremost. And then love for His Messenger, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The highest love is the love for Allah. And then after that, the Messenger of Allah. So any love that comes after should be based upon the characteristics and qualities that that individual possesses, or what they carry from the religion, that which is pleasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and in accordance with the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You know, we've been encouraged to have good character, good manners. So you may love someone because they possess that. They're generous, they're kareem, they're latif, they're kind. And of course, other characteristics, they pray, they keep up on their prayers, and different characteristics that are in line with the religion. You have love for that person in addition to them having those beautifying characteristics and qualities. But falling in love, like Ibn Qayyim said, falling in love is a disease. Love itself is not, but falling in love is. Because when you fall in love, that encompasses the entire heart. And the person they won't make a differentiation between the person's actions. They'll be with them no matter what. When you fall in love with somebody, it doesn't matter what they do. You fell in love, it doesn't matter. And that's the kind of love that I've seen in America, in Philly. That's your boo, no matter what. That's my man, no matter what. It's not based on deen at all. So, since I've never seen the proper type of love, I just thought what they sung about was fake. With the singers, what they sung about is fake. But it's universal. It doesn't matter if it's Arab songs or, English songs, because those are the only two languages I understand. But I'm sure in any other language, when they sing about love, it's the same. What they describe, I'm sure it's all the same. For those who have expressed it, that's why they sing about it in the first place. So yeah, that's what I've learned from Ibn Qayyim. What I learned about the heart is that people love according to what they hold in high esteem and high regard, according to what they value, according to what they long for, something that they want really bad, something that they miss. They had it at one time and they miss it. Something that they're in need of. They've never had it. They're in need of it. And also things that they're curious about. All right? People will love and fall for individuals based off of those things. Like, you'll have individuals who they meet someone that, like, they've always wanted to be adventurous. They've always wanted to do things that were, like, audacious. So they meet an individual who's free. It's a free spirit. They do what they want. They'll fall for that individual because of what they have inside of them, what their heart desired. Likewise, the individual who he's in love with beauty. He just loves beauty itself. Oh man, so many examples of that. A man will stay with a woman because of her beauty, even though she is rotten to the core. Or food. He has a love for food. So he'll stay with a rotten woman, or a woman that's no good for him, because she can cook. And so on and so forth. Person who's in love with criminality. He finds a woman who is just as grimy as he is, willing to help him in that, oh yeah, she has his heart, for sure. So you tend to love whatever you love. You love in a person what they represent or what they embody based upon what you love, whether it's good or bad. That's the heart. That's how it works. But what I've learned is that a person has to be Halim with matters of the heart. You have to be gentle. You have to be patient. Halim. Because if you're not, you know, you can really be down on yourself and be depressed if if you're not if you're not Halim with yourself. It's not something you have control over. Now, if you did something wrong for love to come about and it's difficult for you, then you still have to be Halim with yourself. Be patient and ask Allah to help you. But if it ends in marriage, like with the sister and with this other person they're trying to get married, then it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. It's nothing wrong with it. As long as the person, they have good attributes, you guys are compatible and things like that, then there's nothing wrong with it. Why not? It's just like I said, I was kind of it's just weird. It's weird because, like I said, in Philly, we got that toxic. I've witnessed toxic type of love. You hear women say all the time, "I love him, I love him." I'm like, okay, but their relationships are filled with drama. We have that drama type love, that break up the makeup type love. I'm gonna do a video about that, by the way, because you got people over here, different nationalities, who they're crazy. And they're your neighbors sometimes. So I'm going to do a separate video about that. Break up the makeup. Anybody who from back in the day, or their families used to play different songs at cookouts and family gatherings, y'all know that old song, Break Up the Makeup. But I think it's by the Stylistics, I think. But anyway, I think it's from the 70s, old song. But yeah. I'm gonna do a video about that because people are crazy over here. But yeah, that's that's part one. I'm not gonna make it extremely long because, like I said, it's not my area. But I'm share some some other insights that I learned about the heart and how it functions. And these are things definitely that I've witnessed, but in a negative way. Like individuals falling for, oh man, yeah. Like for example, like I said, a person can love someone that embodies what they value or what they want. But this individual treats you like garbage. Like the girls who get married for money. They'll be married to a dude they don't even like. But because she worshiped that money, she doesn't care. She'll stick with him no matter what. He's terrible. But she loved that money, and she loved what that money brings her from status, where she can buy. She's miserable though. So that's her greatest love. She loved money over anything. She puts up with all sorts of stuff this man does. I'll live it up. And then you have those men who they'll go after a woman who she is literally doing everything but spitting in your face, telling you she doesn't want you. I mean, in every way possible. But you're still adamant about being with her. And then if she does give in, if she does give in, for whatever reason, whether you wore her down, pity, whatever the case is, it's not going to be good. But he doesn't care. As long as he satisfies what he was out to get, whether that was her being a status piece or what they call a trophy wife, or yeah, usually like status. He's trying to get to something, or she's bragging rights. It makes him look good. That's crazy to do that. But yeah, that's how the heart is. That's how people are. And yeah, y'all can leave some comments down below if you want to add to the topic. Not everybody gets a chance to feel that, of course, but they don't get a chance to feel love, or maybe it's platonic. I don't know, but it's interesting anyway to hear about it, to watch people, watch their journeys. Sometimes it happens to people early. I know people that talk about puppy love, of course, which you feel in high school, in your younger years, and then they never get it again. And then obviously people are feeling it later on in life. They never had that when they were young, and then they find it later. So it's interesting. You definitely don't have any control over your heart, though. 100% you don't. All right, y'all. Don't forget that Hijrah Day sacrifice. I appreciate y'all tuning in as usual. And inshallah, I will see you all in the next video. Ma'as salama.